What's going on? New stream. How's it going? How's it going? Hope you guys are doing okay. Yeah, today just painting again in Procreate on the iPad. And yeah, it should be fun. I did a sketch already ahead of time. I'm curious, and I know you get this often, but what's the name of your drawing tablet? This is an iPad Pro. iPad Pro 2018. Hey, how's it going? Just woke up. Just woke me up. But yeah, so this is, I'd show a quick time lapse of the drawing, but basically I'll just start with different basic shapes and then kind of build up from there. Nothing too crazy. How many times a week do you paint? It really varies. I try to do at least a little bit every day, but yeah, it all depends on what else I got going on. Wait, what? Is this on an iPad? Yeah, this is an iPad Pro 2018. So yeah, that's basically the drawing process. So I'm just gonna jump in, start painting. I think I'm gonna go with like a green for the base layer today. Good old Verdaccio painting. They made that 2018 too good, no real reason to upgrade. Yeah, it's so far serving me pretty well. Like I haven't noticed any decline in performance yet. I know the new ones have like that apparently real fast chip, but I just use it for basically looking at references or Procreate, so I'm not I don't need like the latest specs or anything. Hey, on YouTube, going well. I need to practice more on Procreate. And hey LG. Yeah, Procreate. It's been fun. It's always fun to use. I always like to just have the silhouette that I can select. It makes it easy to stay within the lines of the painting. Hey, I'm trying to get into digital art. Do you think Clip Studio is a good starting program for beginners? Yeah, I think so. That's my favorite program if I was working on the desktop, Clip Studio. I haven't tried the iPad version, but I like the desktop version. Hey, I love your work. What brush are you using? So far, I just used this default HB pencil, and then the default flat brush that I just modified so that it doesn't rotate. And let me know how the audio sounds good, if everything's working fine. No echoes or anything like that. Hey man, I miss you so much, even though you never sent me a DM so I could see your profile. Send me a DM. Yeah, I can check you out. Cause like I said, I know I'm not gonna remember usernames once the chat closes, so just send me a DM. Coming in loud and clear, thanks. Thanks for letting me know. Everything is good. messed up my selection. Did you get a Carapace? I actually did. I got it just to save my name, just so in case I actually start using it, I have my name saved. So I actually did, but I didn't post about it yet. For some reason, like whenever everybody starts doing something, I get the urge to not do it. I don't know if I'm like a contrarian or not. As soon as I see like everybody doing the same thing, I like immediately just don't want to do it. But with this one, I just was like, I figured at least I should at least save my name, you know, just to make sure that in case I do want to actually post on there, that I'll have my name saved. Kara is fun. My art is doing good on there. Yeah, I have to check it out. But yeah, my name on there is just Jordan Rhodes. I actually got to have my actual name, so. But I might check it out to see what's going on over there. Love your work, by the way. Thank you. How did you learn how to draw, and what specific areas did you focus on? Drawing for me is just, instead of like trying to draw the physical thing that you're looking at, it's easier to break it down into just different shapes you see. And for me, the type of shapes that work in order to help me understand is just like looking at blocks and blocks of color and blocks of shapes. And then I studied, like learned a bit about anatomy, learned how to draw the skull, a bunch of stuff like that. Did I get it? Workshop good. Love your work, by the way. Thank you. That makes sense. If something's too popular, I get suspicious. Yeah, like I definitely get why that was taken off for sure. Just because, especially with the announcement of now that Meta is like gonna be implementing AI, it's like just like taking all their posts and training their AI with it. So that's kind of annoying. And I think it's gonna be non-skippable ads on Instagram too. So it's like everything is just super annoying. Plus, people have been kind of fed up with Instagram for a while, so and looking for a viable alternative. I don't know. I feel like I don't know if I'm a contrarian, but I'll post about it eventually, I guess. But yeah, I did make a profile just to be able to grab my name. I'm just like, as soon as I see everybody posting one thing, I'm like, no, I just get the urge to not want to do it. You could create a layer above it all, and what's that referring to? Like, I was like that too, but artists were there, so I was like, bump it. Yeah, and plus, I mean, it was founded by an artist, like a photographer, so they probably have our best interests in mind. At least it's not like a corporation that off the bat that they're just in it for the money, but at a certain point they're gonna have to start making money too. That's how all apps kind of start really, really good, and then it's like at a certain point you have to figure out how to make money. So I don't know if it's gonna be like a subscription model, or if it's ads. If it's ads, then it's gonna be the same issue that you have with Instagram. But we'll see. Hopefully, that would be nice to have an alternative for sure. So they're just eating and just destroying themselves, huh? Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't get it, but it's above my pay grade, I guess. It's like, bro, tell me about it. We talking about Karen? I hope it works out. Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah, I was talking. I made a profile over there just to make sure I was able to keep my name, but I haven't posted anything over there yet. But yeah, I hope it works out. It's always good to have options and show that when everybody is complaining about something and somebody actually steps up and tries to do something about it, that's always a good thing. So far, Kara is the personality of original Instagram with the look of old Twitter and sprinkles of deviant art. Yeah, I browsed over for like a couple minutes, and it looks pretty cool. Like it has the portfolio section, which is like Instagram, and then the other section, which is like Twitter. I did have a DeviantArt way back in the day. Yeah, it looks cool. Man, you can't miss the opportunity to take your name. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I grabbed my name. I did the same thing with TikTok. Like, I grabbed my name on TikTok and then posted like 3 videos and never used it again because I just wasn't really feeling it. But you never know, it might take off, and then you'll have to get your name with like a bunch of digits at the end of it, so can never be. It's better to just get in early, at least have your name. I didn't know it was Kara. Thank you all. Yeah, it's another art app. It's a new art app made by a famous photographer, and they're really starting to see like a big boom on there. Like a bunch of artists and people started joining recently. But yeah, it looks promising. We'll see. It's always something that just takes time to kind of. Z Motion. I think her name is Jing Zhang, Gia Zhang, something like that. But yeah, she's a pretty popular photographer. Yeah, let's hope it works out. At least gives Instagram something to think about. One of the things, if there's some way to draw non-artists over there as well, unless it just becomes like the replacement for ArtStation. Because if it's like a replacement, like an ArtStation kind of alternative. But one of the things about Instagram and like the big established apps, like everybody is over there already. So if you're trying to somehow draw like features that would entice non-artists to come over there as well, and that's what will really make it be able to get Instagram completely out of here. But I don't have the answers. I'm just glad somebody is courageous enough to try it. Is this all one layer? The painting's all one layer. The sketch is one layer. The paint is one layer. and then there's like this paper layer on the bottom. So yeah, I like to minimize the layers as much as possible. I'm probably gonna put this shirt on a separate layer so that I don't keep painting over the border. To me, it has a non-competitive vibe, but I could be wrong. Interesting. Yeah, like I haven't spent enough time over there yet to see kind of what the vibe is. Basically, all I did was I made an account, and then well, at the time when I made the account, I'm drawing on the wrong layer. See, this is why this is why I like to minimize the layers, because it minimizes the risk of drawing on the wrong layer. But at least I caught it early, so that's good. What was I talking about? Not competitive vibe. Yeah, I wasn't on long enough to catch the vibe. At the time, it was like real slow when I just reserved my name. So I kind of logged off and didn't really pick it back up again. But I missed the beginning. It's only been about 15 minutes, and I didn't do a drawing on stream. But so far, all I did was I did this drawing ahead of time. That's kind of my general process, just mapping it out roughly and then cleaning up the lines. And then I just put a green base layer, quick value study, and then now I'm just blocking in the colors. So I didn't miss too much. I might try Kara as well as a plan B. Of course, the Kara app looks too cool to create a professional portfolio. Yeah, for sure. And never hurts to get in early. While it's still growing and stuff, it's probably, if it gets to a certain point, it might become harder to grow at a certain point. So never hurts to get in early. Love your art style, thank you. Did you make this brush? I modified it from the default flat brush. Basically I just modified it so you see it instead of rotating, it stayed like the squares will stay in place. Like this is what the default flat brush looks like. The default flat brush looks like this, and it like rotates with the direction of the pen. So I just turned that off. All you have to do is just go into the menu, go to shape, rotation here. If you turn rotation all the way off, then it stays in the same place. And then instead of the rectangle shape, if you squish this, then it becomes a square. So that's all I did to make this brush. So yeah, it's basically just the default flat brush. I'll explore it more and report back. I could relate. They said there will always be delays since it's a new app. Yeah, it's a new app, and it was just a huge influx of new traffic that the service couldn't handle at the moment. Which is you gotta be patient with a new app for sure. When it was something like they says they got up to like 300,000 in like the week or something like that, which is crazy. And they're paying for the servers out of pocket. And I think I saw something. It was like 13,000 a month for servers, and it's only so long that you can be paying out of pocket for that. So, they're collecting donations and stuff. But I'm sure people seem fed up enough with Instagram to be on board to support it. So we'll see. How long did you take to make this? So far it's been about 20 minutes, but that's just the painting so far. I did the drawing before I hopped on stream. The drawing was about 20 minutes. this will probably, I don't know how you spell the app. It's C-A-R-A, Cara, C-A-R-A. Awesome, thank you. No problem, no problem. Sick piece so far, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I should post my profile link. How old when you started practicing? I've been drawing since I was a kid, but I got back into it. Fell off during high school and college, and then got back into it when I was in grad school in 2017. How same. Nice. What made you choose Procreate over other similar apps? I had Procreate on the old iPad before they started making iPad Pros. It was like way back in the day, before even Apple Pencil existed. So I was actually, I gotta find my old iPad. I can show like the old drawings I used to do on there. But Procreate is actually kind of older than you guys might think. It's been around for a while. The early Procreate, it got so much better since the early days. But it was the first iPad drawing app I found out about. Maybe as early as 2014, I want to say. Even before then, because I had Procreate when I was in like 2012 maybe. But I was drawing with my finger, or like those old terrible stylus that had like the round tip. So the iPad Pro was like a game changer with the Apple Pencil. So it was just kind of like the first iPad drawing app I was introduced to, and I don't know how I found out about it. It was way back in the day. But it got so much better now that you actually have the Apple Pencil. I pay for Clip Studio Paint, but that subscription is mad expensive. Yeah, I got Clip Studio before they switched to the subscription model, so I guess I might not have the newest version of it. And when I got it, maybe 3 years ago, because I think the subscription for Clip Studio is fairly recent. Before it was just a one-time purchase. Am I your age? Maybe. I'm 32. Have you tried the animation feature? Nah, I haven't tried the animation feature. It's Procreate Dreams. Yeah, I haven't tried that. You think art school is important in the art journey? I think these days a lot of information is available online. But it's also, I think to me it's pros and cons to everything. If you're able to afford it and you have like a specific goal you're trying to reach, then I say go for it. Because the connections you make, assuming you go to a pretty good art school, are going to be super valuable in your career. But there's people making it that didn't go either. Have you always gone with digital medium? Do you start with pen, ink, etc.? My main focus is definitely traditional. I've been trying to practice digital more, because I want it to be more of a tool that I can use to plan out traditional pieces, because it's easier to do like color comps and changes and experiment with stuff way faster in digital than you can traditional, and make quick changes and stuff. But for sure, if I had to only pick one, it would be traditional. I was talking about something else. You think art school is important? Yeah, art school. But yeah, either way, whether it's art school or not, in order to get anywhere in the journey, it's just going to take work. Art school will definitely give you a bunch of guidance, but yeah, it's and even if it's not a traditional art school, there's online classes and online art schools, and it's just the information is much more widely available these days than it used to be. Is there an artist that inspires your style of portraits? I don't know if there's an artist that inspires my style of portraits, but there's artists that I like their work specifically. I like Norman Rockwell, Robert McGinnis, Andrew Hem. What is the greatest advice you ever got in your art journey? Greatest advice I got in my art journey? Probably paint from life. Paint from life and not just photos. When I started, all I did was paint from photos, but it really does make a big difference what you can see from life versus just photos. That's been my answer, common answer these days, because I've been going to painting a lot of plein air painting and in person, like portrait and life drawing sessions. So that's kind of been my thing lately. I kind of figured I like Jason Latour, Robbie Rodriguez, Loesch, and Audra Auclair. Nice. Nice. Oh yeah, I like Eliza Ivanova, Guez. It's pretty cool. What advice would you give to beginner artists? I would say, as a beginner, the most important thing is to get mileage. And the easiest way to get mileage is to do something that you want to do. If you try to jump right into fundamentals and stuff before you know what you actually want to do, or why it's important to learn the fundamentals, it's going to be hard to stick with it just for the sake of sticking with it. But if you start drawing a bunch of different things and you realize that you like drawing portraits, you're going to naturally want to get better at drawing portraits. So you're going to look up how to get better at drawing portraits. And then you'll find that a good way to get better at drawing portraits is to learn the structure of the face. And you're going to be motivated because you know that you want to draw portraits, rather than if it's like learn perspective for the sake of learning perspective and you only want to draw portraits. Then perspective probably won't be the most important thing in drawing a face, although there is perspective in the face. Like the eyes, the face has perspective too, but I guess in the beginning it's important to find what you like so that you'll be motivated to keep going and getting the mileage, because no matter what advice somebody say, the only thing that's actually going to get you better is mileage. So you have to like what you're doing to want to put the mileage in. Drawing everyday objects helps out a lot too. Yeah, for sure. It definitely does. That's one thing I should try to squeeze in more, just drawing everyday objects around me instead of having to rely on going outside and painting outside. Because sometimes even if I don't get outside to paint like a outdoor scene, you can always just paint something sitting around your house. How are you keeping the paint from going outside the lines when you paint the face? So I have the paint on it. So one of the reasons I do this, like, I have the layer set to this mode called Alpha Lock. If you turn Alpha Lock off, then you can paint outside the border. But if you put Alpha Lock back on, then you can't. It will only paint within the silhouette of that layer that's Alpha Locked. So yes, it's this. If you go to the layer, and it's this menu here called Alpha Lock. So in the beginning, that's kind of one of the reasons that I do this. I make like a silhouette when I always make like a silhouette. So once the silhouette is selected, then now I can just paint and stay within the silhouette of. Clipping mask works too. Clipping mask does the same thing. I just do Alpha Lock, so it's one layer. So clipping mask is the same concept, except it's just doing it with the separate layer. So like, if you do a clipping mask, once again, it will only paint. It's only going to paint within the borders of. It will only paint within the border of the silhouette of the layer below it. But the difference with clipping mask, so you can actually. It registers all the strokes that you're making. They just stay within the silhouette. The only thing that's visible is the part that's above the silhouette of the layer below, if that makes sense. So you can do it that way as well. I just don't mind painting all into one layer because, I mean, I don't need to keep the green layer below. It's just to help influence the colors, but I don't actually need it. But yeah, clipping mask does the same thing. I didn't know you had a YouTube channel. I'm gonna subscribe for real. Thank you. Yeah, I'm streaming over there right now. The last actual video, it's been a minute since I made a video, but I've been streaming on there for the more recently at the same time as Instagram. I love your art. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. Yeah, clipping mask, Alpha Lock, do the same thing. I just like to consolidate layers as much as possible. At least for these kind of like a photo study. If it's like a original artwork where I'm trying to like figure something out, then I'll have way more layers because I have layers to test things out. But yeah, for this kind of stuff, it's more just so practicing painting and technique and stuff rather than creating like an original piece of art. You use Procreate. You use the Procreate gouache, right? No, this is just a flat brush. It's the default flat brush that I just made a couple modifications so that it stays in the same orientation and it's a square shape. But it's the flat brush. You just taught me how to use Procreate in a more efficient way. I do a layman's clipping mask. I usually do the silhouette. Select outside, invert the selection, then add a layer. Yeah, that's what I do too. I just skip the add a layer part. But clipping mask is good if you want to. Clipping mask, it just depends on the specific situation. Like, so say if I wanted to, I might use a clipping mask if I wanted to. Like, say he had tattoos. If he had a tattoo, then I wouldn't paint the tattoo on this layer because then I would have to keep erasing every time I wanted to change the skin. So I would just make a new layer, make it a clipping mask, and a tattoo. Tattoos on skin usually are like kind of like almost a green color. So say you had like a face tattoo, I would put it on the layer above, and then that way you can like move it right wherever you want with the clipping mask. So it's all situation dependent. But for painting skin and stuff, for me it's way faster and way more, because I like to paint the way I would, the same way that I'm painting in traditional, where I'm just like color blocking. And by color blocking, it's easy. I use like this color picker. Once I have all these colors down, I can just pick colors that I have down and just carve out the shapes. And it helps me to think of it how I would paint traditionally. How was your journey till you found your own style and identity? I would say I stumbled into it just by doing a lot of drawings. And drawing a lot of stuff that I liked. I know, like, so the way I stumbled in, like, when I was doing drawings, I started off just trying to copy exactly what I was seeing. But in doing that, I started noticing like tendencies that I would have. So like, one of the early tendencies I noticed was when I measured distances with like straight lines, it made it easier to measure distances and angles just with straight lines, and I would leave those straight lines in for the final painting, and that would give me like this blocky angular look that I actually liked. So that was a tendency I kept. But another tendency I used to have was I used to make eyebrows like super thick, like the craziest thickest eyebrows, and I didn't even notice at the time, but when I look back at the old stuff, I was like, I didn't really like it that much. So I consciously tried to get rid of that tendency, but kept the tendencies that I liked, and that's what kind of developed into my style. So yeah, this was yeah, let me show you like the earlier drawings. The eyebrows would be like super, they're like caterpillar eyebrows. In my stream setup, the stream setup is just I'm trying to find a good example, but the stream setup is just I'm streaming on Streamlabs, and these cameras this camera is a webcam and this camera is a webcam. And it's I'm streaming through desktop through a program called Streamlabs. So that's how I'm able to get all the different views and the cameras and stuff. It's this one where the eyebrows are like crazy. I forgot where it was. But yeah, basically, to answer that question, yeah, it was just like keeping stuff that you like. I'll find it later, but keeping stuff that you like and trying to improve on stuff that you don't like. And that kind of that adds up to your style. Feel free to answer. Oh yeah, I answered that. How did you overcome your fear of posting your artwork to social media? I didn't even want social media in the beginning. I was just content to draw after working in the lab and just fill up the sketchbook and move on to the next. But somebody close to me at the time really made an Instagram account for me. It made me kind of start posting on it, and then once I started posting on it, it was kind of fun, and I kind of just kept going. It was like made me keep posting and stuff. But I mean, when there's nobody the account was so small, it wasn't really anybody looking at it, and it was never, I guess early on, it was never my intention of growing. Like, I was just focused, having fun and drawing, and at the end of the drawing, I would post it and just move on to the next one. And I was never expecting to kind of grow as large as it eventually did, but it was just for fun at first. Naruto face tattoo. Yeah, the swirl, the spiral. Got it. Thank you. I've used OBS and it's a hassle at times. Yeah, I use Streamlabs, which is basically does the same thing as OBS. I thought they were the same company because it used to be called Streamlabs OBS. It used to be called Streamlabs OBS, but I think they sued them and had to take OBS out of the name. But it does the same thing. Basically, if you're familiar with OBS, then you know about setting up a scene and having all your window captures and inputs and stuff like that. So that's all I'm doing. It's just now, I think ever since this year, Instagram allows you to stream through a desktop. So now you can use OBS or whatever streaming software to stream right to Instagram, which is cool. Because before the streams, it was just, you couldn't get the multiple views. I would just stream just from my phone, so it would just be the one static view. And I don't know how you would get the iPad to stream, because the iPad, I'm plugging the iPad up to my computer using a capture card. Nah, his pen got it fired. Thank you. Smart, thank you. Does posting on social media become stressful after a while? It did once I tried to start making money. when I didn't care about making money from art, it was no stress, because I don't need the exposure. I'm just doing it for fun. But literally, as soon as I graduated, it's kind of started taking commissions. Then that's when reels were introduced, and reach went way down and stuff. Seeing that's the whole time I didn't care about making money from it. I was just chilling. But I'm starting to realize that it's kind of a cycle. It's kind of like the stock market, where it's up and down. It goes, it's good for a while, then it goes down for a while, and it's good again, and down again. Except with Instagram, instead of a steady, like the stock market, if you zoom back, it's a steady, always going up. But Instagram is always going down. It's a slow, it seems like every decision they make is just constantly making the app worse and worse. It's like the inverse stock market. I didn't know that part. I remember people making it work through a third-party app during 2020. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that third-party app. It was just something I always kind of wanted to get more into streaming, and live streaming on Instagram. But it was if I was to try to do it before, because I use my phone for I record the time lapses and stuff that I post with my phone. And if I had to use my phone at the same time as live streaming, it was no way to record at the same time. But since it's kind of started being able to stream from desktop makes it, I can record and stream at the same time, make it more efficient. So that was definitely fun, or definitely a positive thing. But with every positive thing they do, they do like 5 dumb things. I think we're gonna start getting unskippable ads on Instagram now. That sounds amazing. Nothing like being forced to watch an ad. What books do we have back there? I got a few books. A couple of art books. I can show a few. It's a few anatomy books, a couple art books. It's Andrew, like the Wyeth art. This is Above the Timberline. It's a book by Greg Manchester. I really like his paintings, like painting style and stuff. Spider-Verse book. This is one of my favorite artists. I always end up showing this book on stream, but this is one of my favorite artists, Andrew Hem. His stuff is like super colorful, and he does gouache and acrylic gouache. Yeah, his stuff is really cool, in pencil drawings and stuff. I want to get my work to be as colorful. I like how colorful his artwork is, but love your art. Always looking forward to seeing what you're working on. Thank you. This is gorgeous. I appreciate it. Thank you. What books I have back there? Hola, hey, how's it going? How's it going? Yeah, I like how the iPad stream looks. It's kind of cool to see like the screen mirroring. This is gorgeous. Thank you. Good night, bro. Big fan. You sick? I appreciate it. Have a good night. And thanks for stopping by. Hey, how's it going? This one's actually going kind of fast. I might do another one after this. You good, man? How can you make money as traditional artists? You can sell original artwork. You can sell prints. You can teach courses. Like do vend at like local markets and stuff. What else? Good job. Thank you. One thing, so you can check your values. If you make like a new layer, at the very top, set it to color, and then just drop black onto it, and it turns your image gray. So that way you can test your values, see what they look like. And I think on Pure Ref, you can turn it gray by, I think it's Shift Alt G. No, Control Shift G. Shift G. I forgot the keyboard shortcut. But and then you can just turn it on and off. Have a great night. Your work is beautiful. Lots of love from Brazil. Thank you. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thanks for hanging out. Open layer. Too early for yawning. Yeah, I don't think I didn't take my midday nap today. How did you do that? Black and white? Yeah, if you make a layer at the top of everything and set it to color, set the blending mode to color, and if you drag once you set the blending mode to color, if you fill that layer with black, then it will turn everything below it grayscale, and that way you can test like your colors, see your values. Can you teach me how you stream with the screen like this? Yeah, if you have a computer like a desktop or a laptop and you have a program called OBS or Streamlabs, then you can set up a scene that has different inputs. So I'm shooting. This is a one webcam. This is a webcam, and then this is a webcam, and then the actual feed from the screen mirroring, that's from a capture card. So I'm just, the reason I'm streaming from a desktop, which is why I think Streamlabs actually has a mobile app, but I haven't actually tried it, so I don't know how you would get multiple capture devices. So, but you're one of my favorite artists. Been admiring your work for years. Thank you. That's cool. Thank you. Yeah, no problem. Nah, bro, this is hard. I appreciate it. Thank you. Smart. How you guys doing okay on YouTube? Yeah, this is it's definitely been making it easy to stream. Anything that I was trying to do new, the barrier I have to lower, the like friction to being able to do it, for me to be able to stick with it. So like streaming on a desktop, now that I have all the settings and streaming set up, now it's easy to just kind of turn it on and start. So if you're ever trying to start doing anything new, just try to make it as easy as possible so it's easier to stick with. Do you ever use pen tips? Is that like a attachment for your Apple Pencil? Cause I'm just using the default, my setup is super basic. I have just the regular Apple Pencil. I have a matte screen protector. It's like a knockoff of the Paperlike, like an off-brand Paperlike that I found on Amazon. And then that's about it. Do you work on comics, manga sometimes? I've done some like comic / like I've done fan art, but I haven't made like a comic story. I like doing one-off illustrations because my attention span for like a single project is kind of low. I need something that I can finish and move on to the next thing. Yes. Yes, in terms of pen tips. Oh, okay. Yeah. What does it do? Like, what's the benefit of the pen tips? Does it give the pen like a? Does it give it like a specific texture that's like nicer to draw with? Like, what's the advantage of pen tips? I hadn't heard of that. What made you choose digital tonight? I wanted to. I don't know. I guess I just felt like it. Plus, I haven't posted it on Instagram in like a week. So I figured I'll make a post soon. And since I have 2 other digital portraits, cause I usually wait till I have 3 Procreate portraits before I post on Instagram. So this is just giving me another portrait that I can make a post on Instagram with. And I didn't really feel like doing traditional today. Fair enough. But I'll be back. I'll be back to it though. I want to start painting. I have an in-person watercolor workshop coming up soon. If anybody's in the Rhode Island area, I gotta put the link in my bio. But it's my first in-person workshop. It's gonna be fun, but it's gonna be watercolor. It's been a while since I did watercolor, so I gotta start getting the rust out of getting my watercolor rust. Work out the rust and get my skills back. But that should be fun. Not that it matters, I was just curious. Yeah, no worries. Yeah, it's just it's kind of, I didn't feel like recording. And Procreate is nice because it just records the time lapse automatically. So it's always kind of convenient from that stance. Whereas in order to get a time lapse, I would have to record it with my phone. So sometimes it's just a little more convenient just to bring out the iPad for a quick painting. And I kind of I have like moods and phases where I feel like I can't get enough of painting with gouache, or I can't get enough with acrylic gouache, or I can't get enough of can't get enough of watercolor. And then the next week it's like, now I feel like doing digital, or feel like drawing in graphite. So I kind of have like phases and moods. Would you say your watercolor skills are drying up? That's a good pun. Yeah, when's the last time I did it? It's been a while since I did watercolor. It's just gouache and acrylic gouache are just more convenient for me because it's like I can just bring out whatever sketchbook I'm using. I don't have to bring out the expensive cotton paper. I feel you. Yeah, if some reason I can't do the same thing the same way for too long, or else I get pretty bored. Then I have to change up. Whether it's like, if I get tired of painting portraits, then I'll do like shoes or like animals or whatever. Or if I get tired of using a specific medium, then I'll switch to digital. But will you do a watercolor live here on YouTube? Yeah, that should be cool. That would be fun. One of the things, I would do a watercolor live on YouTube. Cause I gotta start practicing again for my workshop. And watercolor would actually be kind of cool to see on a live, because you see all like the colors dry up and stuff. With like a recording, all the early stages, since I build my layers up with really dilute paint at first, so it's kind of hard for the camera to pick it up. But with the live, it might be helpful to see. What's going on? Hey, what's up, Jim? How's it going? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having what's today, Wednesday? Hope you're having a good Wednesday. Love your style / approach. Thank you. It's my favorite medium. Watercolor, yeah. It was my favorite medium too before I found gouache. And it's not. I guess I like gouache just for the convenience of it, because watercolor is still pretty fun to use. What do you think about the new iPad Pro? I haven't really watched any videos or anything about the specs. I'm still on the iPad 2018. This is a 2018 Pro, and for my needs, since like all I do is the occasional Procreate or use it as like a reference display, this is good enough for me. I'm not doing any intensive tasks like video editing or animating or anything like that. So for my current needs, my iPad is just fine. And when I have something that's just fine, I don't look around at all the new stuff that's coming out, because then it makes me start wanting the new stuff. So I just try not to look until it's like time for me to upgrade. But if I'm just looking for the sake of it, then I'll start feeling like I'm missing out because I don't have all the latest features. But I wonder if I might keep it. I might not put the red background in, like the reference photo. I kind of like how it looks. We could test it out though, see what it looks like. See if I can match it. It's a little bit more. I was going to ask you your plans for that background color. Yeah, I'll see how it looks. Trying to color match. It's getting there. It looks kind of close. Maybe it's a little bit more. Maybe something like that. Maybe a little redder, a little more. Since it's on two separate screens, I'm color matching looking at my monitor. Looks dope with red. Yeah, the green undertone kind of definitely because a lot of that green undertone is still kind of showing through. And thank you. I love watercolor too. Yeah, it's definitely a fun medium for sure. It's close. It's still off a little bit though. Is it? It's off just the tiniest bit. Maybe it's a little more saturated. No, something like that. Yeah, watercolor is fun though, especially when you watercolor is really satisfying when you get like when you're able to get kind of a result, because it's like it's definitely a lot less forgiving than gouache, but when you get like a nice fresh, get everything kind of right on the first pass and not like a lot of scrubbing and fix mistakes and stuff, it really has a certain freshness and spontaneous look that a lot of mediums don't have, including gouache. But it takes a lot more planning and a lot more vigilance to protect like the white of the paper. Other reason I like the square brush, because I can make like brush textures. Just put like a bunch of squares for like the hair texture. But yeah, watercolor is fun for sure. I gotta update the YouTube caption, because I think it said painting in gouache when this. I tried to change it, but I gotta play with the settings in Streamlabs to see how to change like the caption. Coming out good, thank you. You guys working on anything? Painting along? What are you guys working on? Or just chilling, relaxing? So I DM'd you. I hope you check it out after streaming. Yeah, I'm gonna check you out. Love the details. Thank you. Oh, it does say Procreate. Okay, cool. That's good to know. Yeah, because on my end, right before I went live, I kept switching to Procreate, and it will automatically go back to the caption I used before, which was gouache. So I want to be misleading in the title. But yeah, it's good to know. Thank you. There's like a bit of red coming from, I guess, the background. It's like bouncing on like the jaw, inside of the jaw. But it's a little darker than I have it now. This is actually, it's moving along. Probably do like another 10 minutes on this and wrap it up, and then probably do another drawing. I started another one. So I'll probably do that one as well. And And I didn't finish the sketch, so I'll have to do some of the sketch on the but yeah, this one, sometimes they come together fast or relatively quickly. I mean, it helped that the sketch was done ahead of time. I'm just sketching the sour heads. I'm working on drawing more until I get deep into painting. Yeah, drawing, that'll definitely be, it'll pay off, because drawing helps you a ton with painting. Like, even if drawing and doing value studies and all that helps out a ton with painting. Because painting, that's kind of the thing that's like the skeleton, like the bones of the picture is like the values and the structure that you can get from the drawing. And then the colors is like the cherry on top almost. And you don't even have to use the exact colors, as long as the values kind of make sense, then you can kind of get away with it. How long did it take you to finalize one artwork on average? It would depend. It depends. I would say if it's just a portrait, study, I'm looking at a reference and just studying a reference. Not I'll say between 1 to 2.5 hours, depending on how detailed I make it. If it's an original art, it takes a lot longer, like the planning process and all that stuff that kind of goes into that. But something like this one is probably gonna end up taking like an hour and a half. Like, I could wrap it up soon. Do you paint man fasting a woman? Yeah. Cause a lot of the sharp edges you can actually kind of just leave in with men, so that kind of it lends itself well to my specific style, because men tend to have like more sharp features and angular features than women. So with my kind of blocky style, it takes a lot more layers to kind of make it kind of work where it looks like aesthetic with the angular style. But if it does work out, then it's pretty satisfying at the end. But sometimes it does take a little bit longer to yeah, in general, man, it's probably easier, probably faster for me to draw men than women. Yeah, I would say so. How do you proportion faces? In the beginning, when I was first learning out, the Loomis method was really helpful in terms of learning like how to break it down into thirds and stuff like that. But now I'll start with the general shape, and I build from the chin up. So I'll start with the chin and the mouth, something in the center of the face that I can use to build out from and use as a reference point for everything else. And then I compare the corner of the mouth to the corner of the eye, and then the corner of the eyebrow to the corner of the mouth, the corner of the mouth to the nose. So the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, I meant. So it's like kind of like a triangle on the face that I look for. You're so talented. Thank you. Thank you. I heard a lot of painters say that young girl paintings take the most massaging. Young girl paintings take the most massaging. Yeah, kids are actually kind of tricky to draw, especially with my like angular style. It's kind of tricky to draw kids. You really have to, because all their features are like rounder. You know, they have like more soft round features. So it's It's a tough mix. And the other thing is like the proportions. Like the eyes are bigger, typically. They're not bigger, but they just take up a larger ratio of the face. Do you like to paint with acrylic? I haven't done regular acrylic, but I use acrylic gouache, which can be thought of as just like matte acrylic. Acrylic gouache is just acrylic paint, but it just dries down to like a matte finish that resembles gouache. So they call it acrylic gouache, but it's really just acrylic paint. So I guess technically, but I haven't painted much with like what you would think of as acrylic, like the plasticky kind of paint. But yeah, acrylic gouache is really fun. That's what I've been using the most in recent weeks, was acrylic gouache. I think I'm gonna get back into regular gouache and definitely watercolor. Watercolor is probably gonna be more the priority, just so that I can be prepared for my workshop. I'm a bit out of practice. To soften and all that. Yeah, with softer facial features, yes. Depending on your painting style, it could take more work. But yeah, my style kind of definitely lends itself more to masculine, like sharp angular features. Oh, I love to see the regular gouache. Yeah, it's been a while since I streamed a regular gouache. I think in April I did a couple, or maybe it was before April. What else does this need? Let's see. The shirt probably can use some work, and I actually probably don't even have to make a separate layer for the shirt because it's not too much overlap that's gonna be going on. Actually, I think I will, just so I don't have to worry about it. And it won't take long to do. Yeah, so I'm gonna just make a quick separate layer for the shirt. Now I can freely paint into this layer. Just gonna glaze some colors into it. Make it. I started studying the Sorrow Head. Been very inspired by your portraits. Thank you. And it's a good simplification of like the planes of the face and stuff. Can help you think more like sculpturally, if that's a word. Trying to think if I'm gonna put all these like cross quilt stitching. Probably not. I'll probably just do like a quick, simple. Nice, thank you. Thank you. Are you considering opening an account on Cara Artist? Yeah, I made an account. I didn't like post about it or anything. I made an account so I could save my name in case I wanted to start posting on there. But yeah, I made an account. It's just Jordan Rhodes, and I don't have to put like any numbers or anything after it, because apparently I guess I was I just wanted to make sure I could get my name. But I haven't spent too much time on it yet. I basically just made the account and then I haven't been back on yet. But did you do master copies in Lion Decker? I didn't do too many I didn't do any Lion Decker master copies. I did a couple Rockwell master copies. I like this. I did this Rockwell. It was like an ice cream cone. I really like the hand that I drew. It was a bigger painting, but and that's a little Rockwell portrait. But yeah, I have this Rockwell book. Yeah, this one. It's just called I guess just normal Rockwell. But see if I probably won't. Maybe I'll stumble on that painting that I did the study from. But if I don't find it, I'll probably just keep moving. But yeah, it was he always had, like, his hands and stuff were super expressive. I really like how he draws like hands, and he gets like a whole lot of life into his paintings and stuff. Do I paint figures? Yeah, I paint figures. I have a figure. These are figure drawing sketchbooks. I'm not gonna show them on here, but I can show like I'll show like I can show like the clothes paintings. Cause I go to the Wednesday portrait sessions. So, but yeah, I do figures as well. Yes, these are from Life, like figure drawing class and stuff. But yeah, I'm about to finish my 5th book. But yeah, figure drawing's fun. It's really I try to go like every week. Cool, thank you. Love some Rockwell? Yeah, Rockwell is cool. I put Alpha Light back on. Make sure I'm on the right layer. Yeah, because it's the worst when you're painting for a long time and then you open the layer tab and realize you're on the wrong layer. So my solution is just having as few layers as possible, so I don't have to change the layer too often, so it's less likely to happen. Marvelous figures, thank you. Yeah, it's yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm about to wrap this one up, and maybe do another. It's a little too dark. Do another painting. But yeah, I'm pretty satisfied with this. I like the texture from all those hatching and stuff. Yeah, that's probably why he said line decker, because he does a lot of hatching and stuff. Maybe I probably did pick it up subconsciously or something, because I did see a lot of his stuff. I just didn't do a specific study, like a master copy. But I definitely seen a lot of Lion Decker stuff. I found that since I'm just using the one brush, it makes it doing like the hatching is a way to give you some texture without having to use a bunch of fancy brushes. Golden age of illustration, so underrated. Yeah, they're so. Well, I don't know, because they are called the golden age, so I don't know how under. Nah, they were incredible though. Like that's my favorite kind of art. Like all the golden age illustrators. That's like my favorite kind of historical art to look at. But maybe haven't gone dug too deep into like art history and stuff. But I don't like. I'm more of a fan of like representational art, and not necessarily like photorealistic, but just like representational. Lion Decker was Rockwell's mentor, so it makes sense. Underrated by fine artists at the time. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, like illustration didn't get the same respect that like fine artists did at the time, but looking back, you can see just how skilled they really were. Amazing. Thank you. How do people only use one layer? I mean, I have a separate layer. I like to keep the sketch on a different layer. I keep the sketch separate, but I like to paint, and I'll separate like elements. Like I'll put the shirt in a different layer. But in terms of painting, I like to keep the painting in one layer, because that's kind of how I paint traditionally. So I try to have it where I can think the same way I would traditional. So it's like an analogous process. Because I don't want to have to think about what blending mode I should be using or stuff like that. I just like to think of how I'm going to mix the color and color pick what I have down. And then once I get to a certain point, maybe I could put like different blending modes on top of it. But just to stay in the flow of the painting, I like to keep the layers to a minimum. At least for now, because that was just a method that helped me to be able to stick with digital long enough to want to keep painting with it and not get frustrated and just go back to traditional. But yeah, everybody's brains work differently, and it really just depends on what your background is. Like I'm sure if I started off painting digital with digital, then I probably would have a different method. But my method just developed as a way to try to emulate somewhat what I do with traditional paint. So this eye could be a little darker. But yeah, all the golden age illustrators, those are definitely, that artwork is definitely at least some of my favorite, definitely some of my favorites to look at. Let's see. I feel like I'm noodling around, so it might be time to switch up. And I don't hold myself to having to finish a piece in one sitting. Like I always like to see it with fresh eyes. So every time I say I'm gonna stop, I start seeing a bunch of changes I can make. I actually didn't. Same. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, the draftsmanship blows my mind. Yeah, it's crazy. And they didn't have like the internet, so all this stuff was either painted from life or with photos that they had to hire the models and set it all up, set everything up themselves. I know like Rockwell used like a lot of his neighbors and stuff like that in his paintings. Under the lip is actually quite, the cast shadow is pretty dark. Hi there, this is really nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I was saying the other day how whenever I rewatch like these live videos, I notice whenever I say thank you, it's always like three thank yous. I don't know why I do that. It's like a natural. All right. What else? Under the nose could be a little bit darker. And then is here to stay. Cannot wait for the workshop week class you're doing. Yeah, mine is on Friday, I want to say. I think it's the last one. The last one on Friday. I wanted to join live, but I'm actually traveling. I'll be traveling during that session. Wow, that looks great. Watching you from Saudi Arabia. Thank you. Thank you. Last one. How are you liking it so far? Any other lessons that you've enjoyed? Canada here, nice. What part of Canada? You might be the same time zone if you're on the east side of Canada. I've done 20. You've done 20. Wow. What's your favorite so far? Which one kind of stuck out to you the most? Watching from Algeria. Nice. Alberta, go Oilers. Where's Alberta? Is that? I don't know where that is off the top of my head. My Canada geography isn't the greatest. Even though it's not really that many. Not states. What's the Canada equivalent of a state? It's like, is it called like a province? I like the calligraphy. Oh, above Montana. Okay, so you're like mountain time. Nice. Great question. Wait, what question? I like the calligraphy. Canada, last one. Watching from Algeria. Hello, hey, how's it going? Kathy, Mirabella. What is Canada's equivalent to a state? Oh yeah. I think it's a province. What size do you start your drawing in Procreate? This is I want to say it's the equivalent of 9x12, but at 300 DPI. So that's let me see. If you go to Canvas, where is it? Canvas information, dimensions. Yeah, it's 9x11.25, which is 2700 by 3375, and that's at 300 DPI. Yeah, so I have it basically the size of a typical painting I would do on traditional paper. The advantage of that is if I like the lines, like sometimes I might if sometimes I'll draw a sketch on like a small piece of paper, take it into digital, tweak the sketch, and then print it out, and then I can like print it out whatever size you want. So like a lot of if I were to do like a big painting and I want to draw straight on the paper, I would print it out, and then you can like you can convert it over, like you can transfer it over to your big whatever your big drawing surface is. I Oh yeah, I said I was gonna finish this. But to me, this is like the funnest part of painting in digital. Once I'm at this step where I'm just like carving out shapes and stuff, I could really just keep going back and forth and doing this like all day. Do you put it in Illustrator? I usually put it in. Yeah, I do sometimes. Sometimes I use Illustrator. Sometimes I use Clip Studio Paint. Basically, Illustrator is nice because it's real easy to change the dimensions. And it's a vector-based program, so I do use Illustrator for that purpose as well. But I also like either Photoshop or Clip Studio. Okay, Vectorize. Oh, Vectorize. Vectorize. That's funny. I can't read. Vectorize. Yeah, the vector-based programs are nice because you can upscale that whatever. Although you can vectorize stuff in Clip Studio. How many layers? I'm using, the painting is on, the sketch is one layer, the shirt is one layer, and then the skin is one layer. And then this is just like some paper texture. And then the top is like a layer to turn everything black and white. But the actual painting is on 3 layers. Vectorize. Yeah, alright, I gotta force myself to stop. So I think I'm gonna leave this one here. I like where it's at. It's always something. Yeah, this one, I can come back to it, but I like where it's at. Yeah, so I started to sketch for this one, which is this over here. So I struggle a lot with like really light skin, so this would be good practice. But like super light skin, I struggle just to get like some dimension and stuff. So we'll see how this goes. My default, like my skin color and darker comes super easy for me to paint, and then like really like really light skin colors are kind of a challenge. So we'll see how this goes. This is like, it's very subtle color variation, so I don't even know. I like the red though. The red here will be kind of cool. But yeah, the last one. This is the one I just finished. So I have this row here that I haven't shared yet. So I might like this color. This is always kind of like the darker skin tones are always kind of. This was the last stream. I really like how the beads came out. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So I gotta finish this drawing up. I have like the rough. I can show a time lapse real quick. Basically, I start kind of with the silhouette, and it's the same. It was about 4 minutes, so. Now I have a silhouette, I can kind of start placing the features roughly. For some reason, I like starting with the mouth. Something that's like in the center of the face. And then from there, I can roughly map in the nose. And all of this is just really simple shapes. That's the nose. Try to find the eyes by using the corner of the mouth. corner of the mouth, and make like a triangle basically. And it's digital, so you can always adjust. But these are the basic landmarks that I look for. Then look for the corner of the nose, kind of. Good night. Take care. Have a good night. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. That's sweet. Then I like to line up the corner of the nose to the corner of the eye, so I can. So like, this things I'm looking for like this relationship, this relationship, and then like from here, it kind of looks creepy with the red, with the red lines. This is another landmark. It's called like the keystone shape. So when I'm drawing it, I'm kind of looking for like those different landmarks and stuff. But let's see. It's not really. Yes, this is probably gonna be a challenge because I'm not really seeing a lot of shadows and shapes to work with. It's like really flat lighting and stuff, but it's good practice, I guess. The main thing, I just like the hair color. That's kind of the main thing about this portrait, but let me put on this reference so I can see a zoomed out view. But yeah, early on, I definitely would do a lot more construction lines, but these days I don't really feel like doing all those construction lines anymore. If you're just joining, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, just painting and Procreate on the iPad. Finished the first portrait for today. This is gonna be the second one. See how it comes out. Drawing super light skin is always kind of probably the skin tone I struggle the most with. But it's always good to practice. I'll just try to, when I'm drawing in pen, so that I don't have to like draw like this line to make sure the eyes are lined up. If this was like ballpoint pen or something, I would try to line, instead of drawing like the line, I'll just draw like a dot. I'll draw dots for the corners of the eyes to make sure that like they're lined up. So I'll do something like this and then draw like the corner of the eye dots. Or if I were to draw the line, if it was ballpoint pen, I would just draw like super light. But digital, it doesn't matter because it's so easy to erase everything. I've never been here for this part. It's fascinating. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just... It can be iffy sometimes. But I had a little bit of I put down a couple of the silhouette marks just to get the rough placement of everything. It's always faster though if the sketch is already kind of done. Could jump right into painting. But this sketching in digital always takes me longer. At least it feels like it. First time in here, cheers. First time in here, cheers for Brazil. Thanks for joining. Hope you're doing okay. Still quite haven't the same, like the dexterity that I have drawing on paper. It's way easier to get the exact mark that I want versus the iPad. But the trade-off is that the iPad you can undo and you can just select and move stuff really easy. So it's trade-offs. Everything's a trade-off. Do you ever get tired? Your job as an artist, are there any hard days? Yeah. The hard days are like when it's the non-art related stuff and the times in between projects and jobs and stuff. That's the most annoying part. Sometimes I wonder if it's better to just have like separate money and then not have to do art and then just paint whatever you want. Not have it tied to income. But then on the other hand, it's like, then it's more time going away. Yeah, it's like I was just saying, everything's a trade-off. Nothing's 100% good or 100% bad. Are you the type of person that chooses a job you love over one that will definitely make you money? No hate, just curious. Yeah, I would say so. I probably could be making more money if I use my chemistry degree. But I don't want to. Right now, I don't want to be in a chemistry lab, so. I've been following your art since early high school. You're amazing. Thank you. Wow, that's crazy. So you finished school? And congrats if you did. Graduated college last May. Nice. Wait, so I've been on here for a minute then. Yeah, cause alright. So I started this Instagram account in 2017. So man, that's crazy. You went through high school and college. I'm getting old. I am getting old. But yeah, congrats. What was your major? What are we drawing? Oh, never mind. Yeah, this is the second portrait. So first, just finished this one. This was cool. I'll probably come back to it, maybe do some tweaks. But so I have these, and I'm practicing some lighter skin. My default is always kind of darker skin tones because it's just more easy. But yeah, it's always good to practice, switch up. Reminds me of Atomic Girl. What's Atomic? That was a movie, right? Environment, ethics, and policy. Nice. Oh, where am I from? I'm from New Jersey, but I'm currently in Providence, Rhode Island. Oh, it's from a show called Invisible. I think you should look. Oh, are you talking about Invincible? And I think her name Adam's Eve from Invincible. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah, that's a good show. I still gotta finish season 2 though. I haven't finished season 2. But yeah, that's a good show. Season 1 was crazy. I didn't know what to expect because I had never heard of Invincible. So when I first turned it on, like I was like, it's kind of like a bootleg Justice League, and I was just kind of watching it. It was like nothing special, but the end of the first episode of the first season, it was like out of nowhere, it just it went kind of crazy, and I was like hooked on it since the end of the first episode. But yeah, I gotta finish the second season. I still gotta watch it. Gonna binge it later this summer. I've seen clips, heard it was good. Yeah, same. I heard it was good. What happened to me? Like, I watched the first episode of the second season, and it was like the multiverse thing, and I was kind of all multiversed out from all the Marvel multiverse, and then it was a multiverse, and I watched everything everywhere all at once. That was a multiverse, and then something else. It was something else that was multiverse. It was just so much, and I saw Spider-Verse all in like the short span of time, and I was like, yet another thing that's like multiverse. So I was like, yeah, I ain't really was kind of tired of seeing all this multiverse stuff. So, but I gotta get back into it, because I did hear that it was pretty good. How long have I been drawing? I've been drawing since I was a kid. Now I fell off in high school and college and got back into it during grad school. I still gotta watch it, binge watch it later. Something about I love Spider-Verse and everything all at once. I think I love Spider-Verse and everything everywhere all at once. I think I might have liked it. I think I might like it. I've heard it's so similar to The Boys as well. Yeah, it's very similar. In terms of like the superhero, but it's like kind of violent and a little bit more mature. A little more mature. The Boys was good. I like The Boys. That was a good show. It had a cool angle where it's like made superheroes, like the villains are like big. It made it kind of like a big corporation and stuff. Those are the real villains. It's kind of, I guess it's kind of like yes, they all have the same concept, but it's done in like slightly different ways that make it interesting. I still gotta finish X-Men '97 because the first couple of episodes I watched were like really good. It was like crazy nostalgia. But yeah, I gotta finish that as well. And I just recently got into watching Jujutsu Kaisen because I saw they put it on Netflix, but it was only the first season. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, the change is much better from the regular Marvel stuff. I love me some lore, but they just do too much sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, it's always nice when you find a show that's kind of like a pleasant surprise. Oh, I've heard that's good. Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff to watch. Fantastic work. Keep doing what you do, bro. Thank you. Thank you. I always save the eyes for last. I can't tell. think they're like crooked right now. Always good to flip the canvas, get a fresh view, fresh perspective. And sometimes it makes it easier to get certain pen stroke like angles. Wait, no, why the flip? Okay. It's coming together. I think I have the forehead a little too short. And I have to all constantly like be zooming in and out in order to because the Apple pencil tip compared to a normal pen, it's like much bolder, so in order to get like the fine lines, I really have to zoom in. Wow, thank you. Thank you.
So change that beat up. There we go.
Just make sure these line up. This is like the kind of the relationships I'm looking for to try to get the eye placement right. And then the corner of the mouth down to the nose. And from here. See how long this drawing is taking. 20 minutes. Not horrible. Probably can finish it up in the next 5 minutes or so. It should be good enough. What's your What's your most favorite, like, underrated Procreate tips, if you have any? Something I might not possibly know about. Something is off about that eye.
Yeah.
Or I think it's this eye that's off. Can't tell. I think they're like not lined up. I don't know. Something feels off. That's the one thing when when it's something intuitive, like with portraits. The thing that makes portraits kind of challenging is like something intuitive when you can tell something's off about it, but you can't quite put your finger on it. But it's hard to get that feeling with something that you don't look at regularly, like animals or shoes or something like that. But a portrait, you can just look at it and be like, something's kind of off. I don't know what, but it's usually the eyes. See if that helps. Never mind, you just did it? Oh, did I miss? Let me see. What were you gonna say? Oh, I made a comment about flipping it horizontally. Yeah, for sure. That's definitely a big help. I'm gonna lighten some of these lines a bit just by erasing it with the low opacity eraser. Thanks, Jay. See you next time. Thank you. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good night. And I'll catch you. See you later. think that's a little bit better for 9. At least better than what I had before. Something. I just wasn't feeling it. Maybe it was the shape, I don't know. Where can I get the video for today? The most reliable place is probably YouTube, because it will save it automatically on YouTube. I'll try to post on Instagram, but sometimes the Instagram post gets taken down for the background music playing. But YouTube it stays up. Oh, maybe the iris is too big. That's what's off about it. I don't know. Let's see if I shrink the iris, maybe that looks better. If this was just pen, whatever I put down, I'll just have to go with it. So it makes me more cautious of what I put down. And that in turn makes me go faster. But here you can like keep adjusting indefinitely. And it actually kind of slows you down a little bit. Thanks. No problem. No problem. Yeah, I'm about to. Maybe if I draw the bottom of the eye, it won't make it stand out so much. If I shrink the eye. That might be it. I think that's good. Liquify tool. That's all. That's another benefit of digital. All right. At this point, I feel like I'm just fussing, being indecisive. I think I'm gonna just start painting. I can always fix it later. When you don't have the option, that's why I started drawing a ballpoint pen. When you don't have the option to make all these tweaks, it just makes you kind of get on with it. Like whatever you put down, you just gotta make it work. But with this, I can just keep tweaking it indefinitely. So that's good enough. Well, you can always change the shape later, but I'm tired of tweaking it after this last thing. All right, that's it. All right, let's paint. Oh, I didn't actually finish the hair. All right, let's paint. I'm going with a really light base layer, probably like a turquoise or something like this. Make it really light. Painting, make sure it's on a different layer. Do you have that matte drawing cover on the iPad screen? Yeah, I have one of those. I have like an off-brand. I don't have the paper like one. I have like just some off-brand one I found on Amazon. It works pretty good. Yes, it was way better than, man. It was almost unusable. Is probably a little dramatic, but it was really annoying on like the slippery glass of the regular iPad screen with no protector. It's just slippery glass, and it was not a fun experience to draw on. But the matte protector makes it make it feel a little better to draw on. The trade-off is that you lose some screen resolution though, because the iPad screen, it makes it ever so slightly blurry. Maybe that's the difference between the Paperlike one and this one, but I don't know. All right, got my silhouette. Carve out some cuts. I have my silhouette. Let's see. Put it on the alpha lock. We can start painting. It makes it feel like paper, which I prefer. Yeah, same. Why did my brightness get darker? My screen just got a little dimmer, but it says the brightness is all the way up. What's that about? Oh well. Yeah, so I'm gonna drop the opacity down, start putting in some skin colors, some yellows, some reds, pinks and stuff, just to get some color variations. And I'll be able to pick from these later. Really, such flat lighting, and it's not like a bunch of shadows and stuff, but let's see. Put the dark hair in early because that will kind of help judge the values of the skin. There we go. Do you use layers when coloring? I try to keep the painting all into as little. I try to minimize the layers as much as possible. So I'll try to have the painting, most of the painting, just in one layer. If it's like a different element, I might split it up. Like I might put the shirt into a different layer, so I don't have to keep like repainting over the border between the skin and the shirt. So that's something I would do, but in general, I like to have as few layers as I can get away with and still be efficient. Get colors down, refine later. Just have something that I can color, have something on the canvas that I can color pick from. Give myself just some kind of starting place. And I don't like color picking from the photo. So I have the photo on a separate screen. So, have you, any of you guys tried out that new Kara app? How are you liking it? What are your thoughts on it? I'll probably get on it this week. A little slow, but it's nice overall. Yeah, I think it will, in time, once they're able to upgrade servers and stuff, I feel like it'll get faster. Seems impossible to grow in IG. Yeah. Yeah, IG is a roller coaster. Lindo. So the challenge here is going to be trying to get some depth into an overall pretty evenly flat lit portrait. It's really gonna have to My 5-year-old son says the drawing looks good. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, I didn't even notice it said some. my brain automatically using the context of like 5-year-old. I didn't even notice. Way past his bedtime. It's feeling like it's past mine. Even though I usually kind of stay up quite late. Why is this not? I feel like I'm starting to get some colors that I'm liking. A lot of these, I'm noticing a lot of it's a very not very close value range. All of them are kind of grouped up in like this upper left corner. So a lot of the visual interest is gonna have to come from like different color shifts, because it's not a huge like difference in value ranges. Because pretty evenly, pretty flatly lit portrait. Which, yeah, it's kind of a tricky portrait to work from. If you're a beginner, probably kind of want to. You kind of want to look for reference photos that have a little more interesting lighting going on. But it's a good practice too. Trying to make something look interesting when it's not really that much going on in the lighting departments. Trying to avoid putting pure white. Save that for the absolute brightest. What size is that iPad? This is it's the 13 inch. I think it's 12.9 inches. So the iPad Pro 2018, 12.9. Still works well. Don't have any complaints. You see my story last week? Gotta put up some shots. No, I didn't. What was it? What'd you have in there? Yeah, I think I said I got some shots up. Was that this weekend? Yeah, I might. Well, I'm out of town this weekend, but when I get back, yeah. Now that's nice. I'm trying to get some more shots up. I was surprised to see the jumper was still felt good. I thought it would be way worse, but still have it a little bit. Showing off the wet jumper. Nice. Yeah. And I actually wasn't as sore as I thought it would be either, which is another nice surprise. Cause I was thinking I would be like sore for the next couple, like a whole week, but thankfully I'm not. I guess I'm not that old yet. All these different grays and color shifts and stuff are doing most of the heavy lifting. We're trying to make this flat skin, like the flat skin color, look a bit more interesting. Like the lighting is not really much going on there. But like the more I layer it up, the more kind of volume I can try to create. I saw that tutorial online, the reference layer part. I saw that tutorial online, the reference layer part. What was the tutorial? Was it? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I remember it. I remember what I did. So like turning your lines in this sketch art. I figured out what I was doing wrong. I wasn't instead of selecting the layer, you copy it. You copy it and then you do the rest of the steps. That's what I was doing wrong during my last stream. But yeah, it's cool, right? Yeah, it's real cool. It saves a lot of time, especially if you prefer drawing traditionally. You can get straight. You can turn it right into line art instead of having to redraw it or having to use a multiply layer, which like darkens everything. It's like skipping a step basically. Yeah, and using divide to separate out the white. Yeah, it's cool. I didn't know any of that. I was like, it's gotta be, because I know how to do it. I know how to separate the lines in Photoshop and make a line layer, but I was thinking like to myself, like, it's gotta be a way to do this in Procreate. So I just kind of looked up, tried to find videos that were, and I happened to come across that one, which is yeah, definitely a game changer for Procreate. Because before I would scan my drawings with the scanner and then get rid of the background with Photoshop and then transfer it to Procreate if I wanted to work in Procreate. But now I don't even have to scan it, I could just take a picture and then remove the lines and then jump right in. So it really makes it much more streamlined. It was clutch. Nice, glad you found it helpful. My son wants to know if you've done any basketball drawing. No, I don't think so. I don't think I've drawn any basketball players that I can think of off the top of my head. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. Is he into basketball as well? Start him off early. I know you're rooting for Boston, right? For the finals. Try keeping it active. My son loves cheering on the Celtics. Nice. Yeah, you got something to cheer for this year. Hopefully they can pull it off. Although I do like Kyrie. How's your week going? It's going pretty well. Let's see. Getting the stream right now, which is cool. I went to did a portrait life class earlier today, like a life drawing session. That went pretty well. Yeah, no complaints. No complaints from me. Pretty good week. What about you? How's everything? Anything exciting? Got to try a bubble waffle today. What's a bubble waffle? That sounds interesting. Is it like a dessert? It's like a breakfast food? Or it's like the squares are like, instead of squares, it's like the holes are circles instead of squares? I gotta get these kids finally to bed. My daughter says the drawings just look close. Good work as usual. See you around. See ya. Thanks for stopping by, and yeah, have a good night. Have a good night. It's a boba tea place, and it's like a very light treat. Oh, nice. So bubble waffle, it's like a pastry basically. I love how you set up your live streams. I never thought to give this many viewpoints. Thank you. Yeah, if you stream on your desktop, which you have the ability, you can now with Instagram lets you stream with a desktop, so you can have different like cameras and stuff. Yeah, and it's fun. It's pretty cool. Cause before it would just have to be like just a one screen and half of it getting blocked by the chat. It looks like one of those popping toys, but a waffle. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I gotta check that out. I gotta see if we have any of that locally where I'm at. A bubble waffle. Oh, okay. Huh. Oh, you know what? I actually have one of these, but they put like ice cream in it. It was like shaped like a ice cream. Yeah, it was pretty good. Only reason I didn't really like it too much for ice cream, because I like the regular waffle cone that gives you like a bit of crisp. So the crisp pairs nicely with like the ice cream. But that one, the waffle was like kind of soft. So it was like the ice cream and then with the waffle, it just made it kind of soggy. I didn't know that. I gotta try it out. Thanks for sharing. No problem. No problem. No problem. How often do you attend life portrait session? I try to go weekly. I go to the it's a Wednesday portrait session that I go to, and it's a Saturday figure drawing session that I try to go to. If I have time, so at the bare minute, I try to do that weekly. I gotta change the whites of her eyes from this green color. Oh yeah, that doesn't sound good with ice cream. Yeah, I thought it would be, but it's like the thing I like. Yeah, the waffle cone, it's like crispy, so even if once the ice cream starts melting, it's still, you get the nice contrast. But with the ice cream and the soft waffle, it just turns to like a soggy mess, and it's not that good. How did you develop your art style? How did I develop my art style? I developed it from starting off at first trying to copy what I was seeing. And as I was doing that early on, like when I look back at the work, I would see stuff that I liked. That I would see like deviations and stuff that I did that I liked, and the stuff that I liked I would keep, and the stuff that I didn't like I would try to get rid of or improve. So the angular shape was one thing that I liked. It was useful to measure distances, and angles and proportions. So I kept that. But then something that I used to do that I didn't like was like draw like super thick eyebrows and stuff. So basically it's like picking and choosing, like noticing, being like, as you draw, the more you draw, when you look back at your old stuff, you'll be able to see your natural tendencies and stuff, hopefully. And you can consciously try to select for the stuff that you like and improve on the stuff that you don't. I guess that's at least what I did. But it wasn't something, I didn't have like a vision of what I wanted my art to look like at first. At first I was just trying to replicate whatever I was looking at, and it developed kind of naturally. So yeah, just keep drawing, draw a lot, and draw what you like a lot. And try to think about like what about it makes you like that thing. Like what are the aspects of the thing you like that kind of is the reason that you like it, and then try to break it down to its essence and try to incorporate that into your own stuff. But it's a never-ending journey. The stuff, how my stuff looks now, a couple months, I'm sure I'll be able to see stuff that I don't like and stuff that I do like. And then when that time comes, I'll try to, evaluate, keep what I like, or accentuate what I like and get rid of what I don't like, or adjust slightly what I don't like. I wonder if there's like an advantage of bubble waffles versus just regular square waffles, cause it's like the opposite. Like the bubble waffle, like the thing that makes regular waffles good is like you have all the like pockets where like the syrup and stuff can like accumulate in, like. But the bubble waffle is like inverse. It's like protrusions rather than yeah, I don't know. Oh, but I guess the other side is, yeah, I don't know. I just wouldn't recommend it with ice cream. At least for my personal taste. I'm starting to get some depth into the colors. I'm kind of liking it. Was worried early on, but it's coming together, I think. What software do you use to draw? This is Procreate for the iPad Pro 2018, 12.9 inches. I think the bubble waffle would be really good if they did a filling into the bubbles, but those were plain, which is typical for Asian type treats. Interesting. Yeah, that would be good. Like a stuffed bubble waffle. That'd be kind of cool. That'd be it was this place I used to that had stuffed French toast. That was really good. It was like French toast, but it was stuffed with like strawberries and this type of cream. It was really good. It's really sweet, so you can't eat too much of it, but it's quite good. Stuffed waffles. Yeah, that's a good idea. I wonder if they made that. I wonder how you would stuff it though, and if it would be worth the effort. How time consuming it would be to stuff each individual pocket. If it was just a regular waffle, you probably could have two waffles and put whatever the stuffing is, and then like make like a stuffed sandwich. I don't know, like a stuffed waffle sandwich. That actually might be kind of good. Yes, lemon cream stuffed French toast with blueberries is so good too. That sounds good. That sounds really good. I haven't had anything like that. It sounds fancy. Yeah, I can see the blueberries would go good with like the lemon flavor. The good mix. What's the best breakfast like pastry? Is it waffles? Is it French toast? Pancakes? For me, I'll probably have to say I'm either between waffles or French toast. I'm not the biggest pancake fan. Pancakes are just like they're just okay to me. Waffles are probably my favorite. I'm getting kind of tired. Let's see, what else can I do to this? French toast is hand down my favorite. Yeah, it's solid. Definitely solid. Solid option. Yeah, I'm definitely torn between French toast and waffles, but leaning more towards waffles. But the waffle has to have like a slight crisp to it. Can't be a soggy waffle. What are your favorite waffle toppings? I'm simple. I just like butter and syrup. Everything is like basic. I like when it's like ice cream. I just like straight French vanilla ice cream with just a waffle cone. Like I don't like any toppings or fillings in it. No sprinkles, no jimmies, none of that. I would say French toast because the other are all just dough. Yeah. Yeah. Have you tried dosa? No, what's dosa? What's dosa? I haven't heard of dosa. It looks like a crepe. It's a thin, savory crepe with South Indian cuisine made from fermented batter of ground white graham and rice. Interesting. It looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. Oh yeah, crepes are pretty good actually. I like crepes. What? No rainbow sprinkles or whipped cream? No. Whipped cream? Not ill, but that was a natural reaction. The sprinkles are ill for me. Nah, especially like the circle ones, like the little sphere, like the spherical ones. Those are not. They had like the worst aftertaste. I don't know what's the difference between sprinkles and jimmies. Whichever one of those are like the worst. Nah, whipped cream's good on milkshake, but probably not just regular ice cream for me. You draw the best hair. What's the secret? I try to just try to get the general flow and then blocking the shapes. But not really drawing individual strands. And then the key to kind of making it look like hair is like the edges, like where the hair meets like the skin, and then having like a couple flyaways, but then the rest of it just big blocks of color. It's like a savory crepe. It's my go-to. Yeah, it looks good. I got this Google image up. It looks pretty good. I've actually only had Indian food like once. I had what was it? I think it was like butter chicken or something like that. It was like an Indian food buffet. But I didn't have any, actually had tried too many different. That dosa sounds good though. Is that like a breakfast food? But yeah, with the hair, simplify. Try to see it like in big shapes, big blocks, and then just at some point I might start doing like the lasso tool so I can get like sharper edges. Yeah, it's breakfast, but it can be had at every other time. I love the stylization on this. Thank you. Yeah, and the red hair is kind of tricky because it's like there's areas where it's really saturated and there's areas where it's actually not. Like it's all the highlights are kind of a lot less saturated, and then looks like when the hair is kind of turning away from the light towards the shadows. That's when it gets kind of darker and more saturated. And then once you have the basic shapes, then I might come in with like the lasso color fill tool, and maybe like put something like some sharp edges, something like that. I don't know if you can see that. Just to kind of try to get like the illusion of hair. But I'll probably save that for just the highlights. Hair is my least favorite. Sometimes I dress it so much, I leave it blank. Yeah, I leave it blank when I'm doing sketches, like pen sketches. I just draw like the silhouette of the hair and then like leave it as is. Yeah, it can be a tricky balance though, between enough detail to kind of explain, what's going on. But if you draw every single strand, then it can be unappealing if not really done right. So it's a balance. At least the way I like to draw hair. I'm all about. Hola, hey, how's it going? It's masterclass, so good. Thank you. And if you don't, make this a little more saturated. You can charge for these. have some, at least for now, just having fun hanging out, chilling with you guys. But maybe like the backlog, like the archives or something. What software do you use? This is Streamlabs OBS, or it's just called Streamlabs now. But yeah, it's Streamlabs through desktop, and then you can dual stream to a vertical platform and a horizontal platform at the same time. So I stream to YouTube and Instagram at the same time. I like the skin colors though. I think I managed to get some kind of texture and visual interest into an otherwise kind of challenging lighting scenario where it's not really that much not that much going on. Do you tend to draw your hand with don't you tend to draw your hands on the canvas? I mean iPad software Procreate. Yeah, this is Procreate. Don't you tend to draw your hands on a canvas? Do I draw like with my hands resting on a canvas? Is that what you mean? And if that is what you mean, then yeah, my hands are that looks kind of creepy. If it's too dark. But yeah, my hands rest on. I have this glove that kind of helps with the palm rejection. So you can rest your hand on the rest your hand on the rest your hand on the canvas. I wonder why yawns are contagious. I feel like I read something like the more empathic you are, the more you respond to like a yawn. If somebody else is yawn, like sometimes, even if somebody just says the word yawn, it might make you yawn. Do you typically do an eye glare to make it less piercing? Yeah. For the eye glare, I think I'm gonna put it on like. So that's another case where I would do like a different. Like I might either put the eye glare on the drawing layer. I'll put it above this layer so that it will be above like the sketch, like so something like this, and then it will probably be because that would kind of help get rid of like when it's just a straight pupil, the straight dark pupil. It kind of looks crazy. Another layer, either another layer or put it in the sketch line layer. Cause I usually leave the sketch lines in, but I might clean up some of them because like this one has like a line kind of going right through the center of the eye. Amazing stuff, man. Thank you. Yeah, clean up. But in general, I do like to leave some of the sketch lines in. I kind of like how it looks. Gives it like a less like sterile feel. Amazing stuff, man. I'm learning. Thank you. Human touch. Keep it up. That looks amazing. Thank you. Let's go back to Painting. Hey, I can't impersonate that yet. Man, it's crazy. The progress is crazy though, and it's like it's exponential. So who knows? But the actual feeling part, that I don't know if that will ever be able to be replaced. But just looking at where it is today versus last year, it's scary. How do you go about creating depth? Yeah, for this, I had to try to look at the reference and try to, some spots I darken the values a little bit so that I have more to work with, because on the reference, the color is actually pretty flat. So I tried to expand the value range that I'm working with, so that I can create more depth. Because if I try to copy exactly what I'm seeing, it would be kind of boring to look at. Because the lighting is kind of boring, but the more you look at it, the more you actually start to see a lot, and then you can get a lot of depth with. So even if it's not a lot of value depth, like a lot of variations with values, you can get variation with like color temperature and color shifts. That can also help to create some depth. Like if you zoom in, like there's like a lot of color shifts going on. There's like cool colors, warm colors, grays, neutrals. It's a lot of stuff, but overall, if you actually turn it into like a value study, which you can do by if you at the very top layer, if you set it to color and then put black, if you just drop like black into the canvas, it'll turn it black and white. And then you can see, like, when you just look at the black and white, it's really not that much going on, like in terms of value ranges. Like it's a little bit, but it's really not that much. But when you turn the color back on, it's interesting. It's more interesting to look at because of all the color temperature variations. So that's kind of a strategy you can do if you have a reference with really flat lighting, and you want to make it look a bit more visually interesting. You can try to add some some shifts in color temperature and color value. Not value, color hue and temperature, like shifts. That's so cool. Thank you. Yeah, because otherwise, at least when the more I'm looking at it, the more I'm seeing the more I'm kind of seeing different. Like this was definitely exaggerated in my painting. That was something that I could kind of use to make some structure. It's very faint, but like there's some blues in there. So if you look at the painting, it's I try to put some blues. Basically, if I'm seeing like the slightest hint of a color, I'm trying to accentuate that, because just something that I can do to make the color not quite as flat. How long have you been working on this one? This one has been, I want to say it's been about an hour and a half now. Yeah, the timer, it says it's 1:16, hour and 16. Where did you study your art skills and build over time? I don't have any formal art education, so just from observing and painting from a lot of reference photos, and then recently in the last 2 years getting more into painting from life, which I feel like that really if I was to start over, I would definitely do that from the beginning instead of. I mean, I was still painting from photos, but I would definitely started painting from life earlier on, because you really understand the limitations of photography. In terms of like the colors it captures and the value ranges and stuff versus what you see in actual real life. Yeah, all that's been kind of the biggest, at least in recent times, the biggest thing that's been helping me understand light and color. I struggle with eyes. Do you have areas you have to practice more than others? Yeah, I struggle with like when I was doing the drawing earlier, the eyes. It took me a while just to try to get something was off about them that I couldn't figure out what it was. Eyes can be a struggle because eyes are like the focal point of a portrait. Like you immediately kind of go right to the eyes, so they're definitely a big attention grabber in a portrait. So it's definitely something that definitely stands out in the portrait. But I do have yeah, it's I struggle with eyes every now and then. It really depends on it depends on the depends on the particular piece of art. Sometimes I struggle with the eyes, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I might struggle with something else. But when it's two eyes, that's all trying to line them up and make sure that they look okay relative to each other is always a little bit of extra consideration that you have to take. Do you have an art book? Your stuff is awesome. Not yet. Definitely want to in the future though. Love your work, bro. Thank you. Show, thank you. Yeah, it's coming together though. I'm liking the direction it's going, or the direction it went. I might wrap it up soon, but it's definitely gonna keep this in mind for the future. Next time I do light skin tones, cause I like the color palette that I have in this one. All the different cool colors with just a touch of warmth is nice. Yeah, when you switch it to black and white, you can see just kind of how flat the values are in the face. So if you don't have values to work with, you can work with like color, temperature to try to create some interest. And to make cool colors, you only have to, like, sometimes just desaturating the color, putting a desaturated color next to a warm color will make that desaturated color look cool. kind of tired actually. It's actually kind of late. Might wrap it up. Do you always use real photos, or do you use other kinds of references? Not always. Sometimes I try to either draw from, see how far I can get from imagination, or memory recall, or paint from life. But I definitely use photos a lot. It's still good. It's still really good practice. So surprised you don't have a formation of art. It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm wrap it up here, cause I'm kind of tired and I gotta walk home today. I felt like walking to the studio because it was such a nice day, without thinking that I would have to walk back. So yeah, I'm gonna have to walk back, and it's like the middle of the night, so I probably should get going soon. But sometimes sometimes the weather's just so nice, you just feel like going for a walk. So yeah, guys, it's beautiful. Thank you. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. So far, I'll probably touch it up when I look at it tomorrow with some fresh eyes, make some touch-ups, see what I can do differently or add to it. But for now, this is what I got. I like how it came out. So this was the second portrait. The first one was this one. This was the first one we did today, which is pretty cool too. And yeah, that was fun. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, and I hope you guys have a good night. As always, thanks for hanging out, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.